My name is Matthew Weitz. I'm an actor, writer, filmmaker. I was born in Santa Monica, California, raised just south of Cleveland, Ohio, northeastern Ohio, and I live here in Brooklyn, New York. I came to New York as an experiment, really. I had originally seen myself being in LA and prospering in LA as an actor. Candidly speaking, New York is a great place, but I always describe it as a room with no windows or doors. So you can't see in, and when you're inside, you can't see out. But when you're inside, there's everything that you need on the inside. So you don't see the sunlight as often, but specifically, actually for this role that I'm preparing for right now, it's good. So I'm in the show. It shows at 14th Street Y. It's called Friendly's Fire.
What's your name, son?
Friendly.
My character is ex-military coming out of the Gulf War, shut in a small cabin in Alaska. So he doesn't really often see the light of day anyway. He's very depressed, he's very internalized. I wanted my character to have the physicality of a military man, the mentality of what it takes to overcome certain physical and mental barriers. And so this helps to develop character for me. I like to bring aspects of method acting into my preparation. I really commit to what I'm doing in the preparation. I like to take it very seriously. For the last film that I did called 88 Cents, the character at the very beginning of the film is being released from prison, had spent about 4 or 5 years in prison. So I was living in a very small apartment in Washington Heights at the time, and I basically simulated prison at home. I would lock the door. I had very strict diets that were designed around what you would typically eat on an average day in prison. That really took a number on me. That really affected my psyche a lot. It really got me into a place that I could truly believe that I was escaping prison when I was done with the preparation.
We don't actually allow walk-ins here. You could try the shelter on 27th and Mission.
And that film has had global success. We've been to over 60 international film festivals, and I've taken home personally 9 or 10 Best Actor awards in New York, Los Angeles, India, other parts of Asia, and France. $400 in the bank I got, $400 in my name I got, $400 in the bank I got, 400 more for rent to make. I don't consider myself any one thing. I would consider myself an artist. I like to think that I do a little bit of everything. I've been a creative since I was younger. Poetry, short stories, short films, screenplays, an actor, I sing, I play the guitar, I'm a musician. I like notebooks. Notebooks is my thing. So I write a lot and I sketch and I write like, I don't know, I have a bunch of notebooks. It's like my favorite gift. I think I always tell people to get me notebooks as gifts. Hi, little Nene. So this one I got for myself. This is probably like one of my first ones, so it's dedicated to me. But this one was from my mother, and then the most recent one that I have is from my cousin Abigail. Here and there, I've been writing poetry for years, and so some are like full diagram scene breakdowns for films that I'm working on, for screenplays that I plan on going back and writing. Here's a storyboard for a film I was working on called How Do We Talk With Our Mouths Full. This is one of my favorites. It says, sometimes all we have to show for ourselves is just an empty cup of coffee. And I obviously am a huge coffee advocate. Practicing logos for my things, signatures, for when I'm very famous. I can still taste last night's weed and liquor on my breath. Every time I swallow, I swirl back into the black void, that deep black hole in my face, like a clogged drain. I have a full-time job that doesn't pay. That's what it's like to be an artist. You're constantly working, constantly chasing muse, and really necessarily never getting paid for it. I fell in love with a reflection in a bus window on my way to Boston, Massachusetts. I fell in love from across the room at a crowded cafe in France. I fell in love over the internet with a girl I laid once in Las Vegas, Nevada. I fell in love with a woman and her dog in Brooklyn, New York as I ran past them with mud on my pants. I fell in love with an actor once who was paid to act like she loved me back. I fell in love at a party in Soho as she sold me on real estate I could never afford. I fell in love again from the bottom of a rock wall in Phoenix with someone I'd loved before. And they all end with commas because I will always continue to fall in love and document every moment that I do.
Totally fucked it. But I dig it.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm gonna eat the other half of his sandwich.